Whoa, whoa. Croc is in the building. Good morning, family. We good. We about to talk boxing, so we gotta be good. John Parham in the building right away. Bam, to kick this thing off. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to a brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Let's get it. Salute, John Parham. Bam. I don't know if y'all seen it, man, but things is heating up between Teofimo and Shakur. And going back and forth on social media. And Teo had already hinted that he would fight Shakur or Richardson Hitchens. So it's heating up. It looks like that fight may actually happen. Y'all know we was talking about it yesterday. So today we're gonna talk a little bit more about that possible matchup, which it's looking like it's close. It's looking like it's close, like it can happen. And I gotta tell you guys right now, man, I want it to happen. John Parham, Teo definitely gonna sell it. You know it. You know it. The type of number one, the type of fighters that they are inside the ring, but the type of men that they are, neither one of them is gonna back down. If they sign to fight each other, these press conferences are gonna be super interesting. Super interesting. The one thing that I could tell y'all right now, man, I hope Teofimo Lopez doesn't go the race route. And he already got enough backlash, so he know how that plays out. My people, don't forget to hit that like button. Teofimo knows if he start doing all that watermelon and all that crazy shit, he know people gonna turn on him. He already seen it. So I hope the trash talking doesn't go into that field. Crap. I truly believe that Teo will beat Shakur. That's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. We have to accept it. I don't think so. I got Shakur winning that fight simply because, and I've said it before, I don't see no one beating Shakur in his division or around it. You know, if he moves up to 140, nobody beating him either. That's the way that I see it. And I want to say, look, I find this very interesting how these guys get so much hate, right? Teofimo, Shakur, Devin, about how he was running his last fight and all that. But look at the resume. Look at the opponents that they facing. All of these guys are younger than Tank Davis, and they all got a better resume. They're all more accomplished in their 20s. So how could you hate on a young fighter who's accomplishing in different weight class, unifying titles? And you see, for those who say that Shakur Stevenson ain't fight nobody, he ain't fight nobody, he might actually fight Teofimo Lopez next. Let's see. I'm real hopeful for that fight. But my whole point is that we see these guys wanting to fight the names, wanting to fight the big dogs. How could you hate on a guy like that, bro? I'll be trying to figure that out. Like, we're in an era of boxing that if you don't like a guy, you don't want him to get the fights so you could keep hating on him. That's crazy. Yo, y'all know how many polls? I did like 4 or 5 polls asking people if a name, a fighter with a name, if they want to see him fight Shakur or fight somebody else. And every single time, yo, they picked mostly somebody else. Why? That's how you want to feed that narrative. You don't ever want him to get the opportunity to fight the name. So you can say who he fought. Like, that's crazy. John Parham, is AB really trying to get back in the ring? I mean, I think so. But I would say it's more about making money. You know, AB lives a certain lifestyle and he needs to keep making money. He needs to make a certain amount of money to feed that lifestyle. So I think it's about that. I don't know if AB really want to stick around and stay focused and stay in the gym for the next 3 years. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. I think to me, it's an interesting coincidence that one day he's posting to Sexy Red, hey, Sexy Red, I heard you single. And a couple days later, he's posting, yeah, I'm going to dedicate my life to boxing for the next 3 years. You know, so I felt like, you know what? He hitting Sexy Red up. People around him like, yo, she ain't going to rock with you. You broke. And now he's like, yeah, I'm going to dedicate myself. Watch, I'm going to make millions. What's up, boo? That's how I took it. Because all this time, AB, he ain't been talking about boxing, man. He been living life. John Parham, he big broke for sure. Look, I don't know AB's financial situation, so I don't want to take a guess. Maybe he's not broke, just not balling out of control. Because that's the one thing, too, that happens. If you're a millionaire, right, and you know, riding in the Rolls Royce and the Bentley, the big chains, and then you go back to living a regular lifestyle, you're going to come off as broke. Oh, he broke. It, you know, not literally, but obviously it's a big drop off. I think it's more about that. But if AB wanted to, he really could. He has the talent to really focus and dedicate a few years to boxing and challenge for a title and climb up. And he could do that. But will he? I don't know. I guess I guess we gotta wait and see when it comes to AB. I don't know. I don't want to say he's not gonna do it because you just never know. He could get focused. He could get himself with Sexy Red, and she might push him. Yeah, you gotta fight. You ain't fighting, I'm leaving you. He's gonna be like, yeah, let me put these hands on people. So we'll see how that whole situation plays out. John Parham, I have never seen any up-to-date videos of him with one piece of jewelry on. Come on, man. Damn, you going hard on AB. I will say, AB, I seen him the other day. He was rolling a dice, and he had a stack of money in his hand. So that looked like it was a good dice game for him. That's all I'm going to say. But we digressed. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. Again, my peoples, yesterday, they was going back and forth. You know, Shakur Stevenson was like, yo, what's up? You said I'm little. Make it happen. Send the contract, son. So Teofimo chirping away. Let's see if he's going to send the contract. But that's a fight that I really want to see. And I don't know if y'all remember when I did the poll about that same fight, whether people wanted to see Teofimo fight Shakur or Subriel Matias, everybody was like, nah, yo, I wanted to fight Subriel because he's going to unify with Subriel. Now they want a unification. Ask Tank 30-year-old ass to unify. Y'all don't ask him to unify, right? Alberto Caballero, salute. Hey, dude. Alberto, say hello from Puerto Rico. Hugs, bro. Peace. Love you. Appreciate it, Alberto. Bam. Salute to you and everybody in Puerto Rico tuning in. I appreciate it. Sabe que somos hermanitos, manito. Yo estoy aquí en RD. We right there. We neighbors. John Parham. AB was that dude. Man, yo, listen. Adrien Broner is somebody who definitely, without a shred of doubt, did not reach his full potential. He's one of those fighters. Why? Because, yes, he became a world champion. Yes, he did it in multiple divisions. But he could have stuck around a lot longer. If he stayed disciplined, Adrien Broner could have been one of these guys that till this day, he would have still been fighting at a high level. But his personal life got in the way of his professional life. And we saw it. AB, man, I would say he's just an example of a fighter who, the moment the money started coming in, the focus started leaving him. Simple as that. And we've seen it before. We've seen it. That's what true discipline is about. It's easy. Listen, if you broke or if you struggling, it's easy to get up at 4 in the morning or 5 and go do your thing. You broke. You ain't got shit. But when you wake up in the morning and you wake up in a mansion and your rose is over there and your toys is over here and everything that you like is in your crib, and it's a different story. It get harder to wake up and go running at 5 in the morning when you got everything you want right here already. Because you was fighting for those things. You was trying to get those things. But now that you got them, you also got to fight to keep them. You also got to fight to keep acquiring. So that's why you see that level of hunger disappear in some fighters, like AB. He was fighting, coming from the bottom, wanting to get that car, wanting to get that ice, wanting to. So now when he finally had all that shit, that's it. It's time to ball out now. Get twisted, hang out with the hoes, do all the things that I couldn't do when I was broke. And then the focus goes like that, out the window. Claymore Rain is in the building. Salute, my brother. We are early and checking in on this complimentary continental breakfast. Salute, Jay Smith. Claymore Rain. Salute, my brother. Bam. You already know it, my G. Healthy dosage of sweet science. Nice and early in the morning. I'm pretty sure, Claymore, that you've seen the whole situation with Shakur, Stevenson, and Teofimo Lopez, the way that it's developing. What say you about this possible matchup? Do you think it's going to happen? And if it does, who getting their ass whooped? Let's just keep it a buck. Somebody's getting whooped. Now, I think it's going to be a competitive fight. If I'm being realistic, it's a competitive fight. Two young, elite level fighters. You have the pure boxer versus the boxer puncher in Teofimo Lopez. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I like the fact that these two young fighters are still in their 20s. I love it. I'll remind people that Tito Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya was both in their 20s when they faced each other. And we need more of this. Just like Ryan Garcia and Tank. Tank was still in his 20s when he fought him. We need more of this. More fighters that are still early in their prime facing each other off. They could still, listen, two fighters in their 20s, and we've seen that before, can fight again in their 30s. That can happen. But I like Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Right now is the perfect time for that fight to happen. Armando Rosado, salute, champ. My G. Bam, salute. Make your predictions, man. Make your predictions, my people. If Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez fight next, who's winning that fight? Who is winning that fight? Let me get my receipts, because I'm going to be posting this, my peoples. Y'all know. And as you may have and you may remember that we made a vote the other day. And the vote that we made was that when I post the videos, the comments with your names and all that's going to be in it. That was the vote. So I'm about to make my receipt. And then y'all going to tell me. Y'all going to tell me what's really good. So again, my peoples, if Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez fight next, who's going to win that fight? Claymore Rain. Seems like Shakur has it out for Teo to send the offer. That being said, who will sponsor Teo? He burned bridges with the money. But stylistically, Teo has a puncher's chance. So you made two interesting points right there. Number one, Tio burning bridges, and number two, what happens, that type of matchup, style-wise. The answer to your first conundrum, I don't know, bro. Because when you burn bridges, you never know. But we know that it's a business at the end of the day, and bridges that are burned can always be fixed with the right amount of money. And I think Tio has enough star power, brings enough to the table for some bridges to be fixed. I don't know who's going to fix it, but I think it's possible. As far as stylistically, yes, I agree. Teofimo has a puncher's chance. I think there's no chance that he could win on the cards, but in boxing, anything can happen. Who's gonna be the favorite? Who's gonna be the favorite to win this fight in Vegas? Shakur will be moving up. Who will be the favorite? John Parham. Don't be surprised at a draw. That could happen. And if it's a draw, then there will be a rematch. John Parham leaning more towards Shakur, 7-5. Raw Dog, kind of 50-50. Both can box, still wise. Tio has more pop. It will be good. And listen, Raw Dog. First of all, salute my G. And I will tell you, it's going to be a very good fight. A big, big fight. I don't know where they're going to do it, but this is a big one. And this is one of those, you remember the last fight where so many people were saying, yo, Shakur Stevenson is going to run all night long. He's not going to fight Zepeda. His hands are brittle. He's not going to handle the pressure. And what happened? Put the baits on Zepeda right there inside of the phone booth. And where all the people at who say he was going to run all night? Disappeared. Incognito. Now, we're going to see him fight Teofimo Lopez. Hypothetically, let's say he wins that fight. To the people who say he ain't beat nobody, what they going to say next? Are they going to try to diminish Teofimo Lopez? Nah, he ain't really all that anyways. Like, that should be crazy. So, all I'm saying is that little by little, Shakur is knocking off the boxes on the haters. Shoo! Oh, you say I just run? Shoo! Bait the shit out of Zepeda. Hold that down. Hold that down. What you want to do? Shoo! Check that shit out the way. He beat a lot of good fighters. Beat champions. Y'all want to discredit them. Formulate an opinion to discredit everybody that Shakur beat. Now he's going to fight Teofimo Lopez. He's going to go like that to that box on ya. Shoop! Check that box out of the way. Oh, Shakur ain't beat nobody. Shakur ain't beat nobody. Beat the shit out of Teofimo Lopez. What you want to do now? What you want to say? That's what happens when a fighter is great. They start checking out those boxes. That hate that you got for him, now you can't say that Shakur only runs. That's it. You got to figure out a whole different angle. Because he beat the shit out of Zepeda. Come on, my people. Hey, I need to hit that like button. Stop ducking. Stop ducking. Dang. I'm over here giving y'all this fire. Fire. Hey, I can't even go like that. Boop. God dang. Compare the way that Tank Davis been ducking Shakur to the way that y'all ducking that like button. And tell me it's not the same thing. The same deal. Tank need to stop ducking Shakur. Y'all need to stop ducking the like button. Real talk. John Parham, y'all hit the like button. That's what I'm talking about. Teo gonna bring it. Listen. One thing that I respect about Teofimo Lopez is that he's really about that life. He's really about that smoke. And all you have to do is look at the resume and look at who he's been fighting. And who he's been trying to fight also, because every fight doesn't work out. Sometimes you want to fight somebody and it falls through. Raw Dog, you see Ring put out the updated pound for pound? Yeah, I seen it. David Benavidez is at 10. Got the 10 spot. And you see, that's it. Shakur Stevenson is a pound for pound fighter. That's right. You become a pound for pound fighter by beating nobody and by not doing anything in the sport of boxing. They just put you on the pound for pound list these days, I guess. MS, YouTube be hiding the like button like fighters be hiding their contracts. Salute. Salute, my G. John Parham, you think Shakur will stand toe-to-toe against Teo? That's a great question. That's a great question. I think he'll be strategic with it. At times, he's going to use the footwork, outbox him, and at times, you're going to see him go toe-to-toe. Bam, bam, bam. Why? Because Teofimo Lopez is a guy who has great footwork, who's going to close the gap, who's going to let his hands go. Shakur Stevenson is not the type of fighter who he's going to just go into a shell and let you go off on him. So if, when Teofimo does close the gap successfully, you're going to see Shakur letting his hands fly too. Simple as that. But I picture him using that. Look, this is the type of fight I picture. I'm going to show you. That's why you need somebody talking boxing that do boxing. I show you that shit. I don't just got to tell you. Show you what it looked like. Check it. That's the fight that I see with Shakur Stevenson and Teo. So Shakur is going to be, I got to be a southpaw, right? Shakur is going to be using that jab, and y'all know how he do with that step back. He's going to be real effective with that step back and counter on Teofimo as Teofimo's trying to close the gap. You're going to see the movement, and then when Teofimo finally closed the gap, because he's been cutting the ring on him, you're going to see what he's going to get zapated. Voila. That's what you're going to see. Shakur Stevenson putting hands on Teofimo Lopez. And by the way, Teofimo's my guy. I love Teofimo. That's my G, by the way. Ivan Curry. Tell will knock Shakur out in the 8th round. Shakur don't hit hard like Tank Davis. Ivan Curry, I don't think you have learned that you don't got to hit hard to win fights. Somebody didn't tell you that. Have you been following boxing a long time? Because there's a lot of boxers who don't hit hard who win fights. Floyd Mayweather, you ever heard of him? Didn't hit too hard. Armando Rosado. Teo is the type of fighter that gets better depending on the opponent. Better the opponent, better the Teo. I think that he goes harder when he got those type of fighters in front of him. I agree with that. John Parham. Ivan, Teo has to connect against the best defense in boxing. And that's the one thing that I got to say, man. When a fighter is undefeated and has a great defense, how could you predict that he's just going to get knocked out? I understand if you think the other guy's better, the other guy's going to beat him. But easy work, just going to get blown out of there. The guy who least gets hit in boxing, who least get hit with hard shots, you're predicting that he's going to get knocked out. I think that's a bit of a, stretch. Clay Moraine. I want to be honest. Teo once sold me on the pedigree. But lately, he's been exposed as a fighter with natural athletic abilities, but limited boxing pedigree. On this pro level, Shakur will expose him. See? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Teofimo Lopez, athletically gifted. Boxing skills, he nice. Real talk. Okay, yeah, he elite. But even amongst the elite, there's levels. Remember I had a show before that I did. I only did like 5 episodes. But I named that shit amongst the elite. Because that's what people don't realize. There's a lot of fighters that are elite, But amongst themselves, there's levels. That's why sometimes two elite level fighters fight. One guy loses, and you start saying he a bum. That's crazy work. Look at Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. That's two elite level fighters. But Terrence Buck Crawford was levels above. That's why he pummeled him the way he did. Clinton Eddie, can Teo catch up with Shakur? I mean, he can. He can. That's why I said Shakur is going to box, but there's going to be times where he's going to have to trade leather. There's gonna be times. I feel like Shakur has the skill set to mostly maintain the right distance, but at times I feel like, yeah, Teofimo Lopez, he not a bum. He not an average Joe. He a great fighter too. So at times I think he will be able to cut the ring off effectively, and they're gonna go toe to toe. But you saw what happened with Zepeda, where Shakur won most of the exchanges. That's what I see happening. Ian Kelly, what's going on, brother? Salute. Bam. To my Mexican brethren in the building. Appreciate y'all, man. John Parham, salute. Now, I want to say this. If Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez fight next, that fight is going to be in a big stadium, in a big arena somewhere, wherever they stage it. I think they should do it in Vegas. That's my opinion. And it's going to do good numbers all around. Like, it's going to do great numbers on TV. It's going to do great numbers. It's going to be a sellout type event. And there you have it. So that's why I'm telling you guys that little by little, Shakur Stevenson is checking out all the boxes on the haters. Everything that they say he don't do or he can't do, choo, 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 checking the boxes. One by one, they're going down. Clinton Eddie, can Shakur take a clean shot from Teo? Sure, why not? I don't see why not. John Parham, Clinton, he took a couple last fight. I mean, I don't know why. If a guy has, trust me, if a guy has the amount of fights Shakur has, fought for as many titles as he has, and never been hurt, I'm pretty sure he could take a shot. He don't dodge everything, bro. He gets hit. One thing is the defense, he's real good. But in every fight, he take a couple of good shots here and there. Claymore Rain, Teo is going to price himself out this fight. I'll believe it when the fight is announced. Oh, Claymore, don't hurt my feelings like this, bro. At 6:30 in the morning, you're going to drop this grenade up in here like that? Damn. I want to believe it. I want to have hope, man. You just took a little bit of that hope away from me. Let's see, man. Let's see. Because honestly, you know how it goes in boxing, man. Until it's a done deal, you never know. But right now, it looks like they both interested in the fight. They're going back and forth. Man, don't do this to me, Claymore. Not this early, bro. Clinton Eddie, I just haven't watched too much of Shakur. That's all. All right? So if you haven't watched too much of him, why are you asking if he could take a punch? Claymore Rain, and Teo hasn't stopped nobody at 140. Has the power translated how much of the power is really there? You see? That's something to take into consideration. He ain't knocked nobody out in the division. Maybe the knockouts, that's it. They're going to dry up from here on out. Because if he not knocking people out at 140, he damn sure ain't going to be knocking welterweights out. He going the distance in all those fights. John Parham, Clint, his defense is his best weapon and ability to pop back. The Mexican G, Shakur versus Teo, oh, that will be a banger. Bro, we want that fight. We need that fight. Hopefully they can make it happen. Clinton Eddie, I'm asking so I can find out. I have seen highlights, but entire fights, not so much. These are genuine questions. You got it. You got it, Clinton. Um, Look, my peoples. The way that I see it right now is just social media talks. Just like Claymore Rain said, Tio could end up pricing himself out. Um, right now, in my personal opinion, there is nothing to say that the fight is gonna happen. Obviously, they just talking, but I'm hopeful, man, because I really want to see that fight. I really want Shakur to have the opportunity to step in there with a name, and Teofimo being not just a reigning world champion, but having the type of resume that he has. That's a great fight for Shakur. And that's also a great fight for Teofimo to keep building his resume. So both guys, whoever wins that fight, that will be a monster win. Being the first guy to beat Shakur Stevenson, that will be a monster win for Teofimo Lopez. And then Shakur Stevenson to take that title or those titles from Teofimo, that will be a monster win for Shakur Stevenson as well. Another division added to his resume. A future Hall of Famer now added to his resume. And now the haters got to shut up about he ain't fight nobody. Now, boom. Now they're going to transition into, nah, but he only beat Tio. He only beat Tio. So, you've seen, that's why I tell you that. And I remind everybody, I try to remind people, Floyd Mayweather was the face of boxing, right? A defensive fighter who didn't knock people out. Floyd Mayweather had a 25%, I mean, no, a 50% knockout percentage. But most of those knockouts happened early in his career when he was fighting, the pizza delivery guy, the Taco Bell burrito roller, the janitor. When he was fighting those guys, he knocked a lot of them out. So that makes up a high percentage of his stoppages. And Floyd Mayweather was hated. People said that he ran too much, that he was boring, that he was putting them to sleep. All of that. Became the face of boxing. One of the most accomplished fighters ever. Right? But people don't realize that Floyd became the face of boxing when he was 30 years old. If you wasn't following boxing, or if you wasn't around, or if you're too young to actually have been there, some people have this notion like Floyd Mayweather was always the face of boxing. And that wasn't the case. Floyd Mayweather became the face of boxing after he beat Oscar De La Hoya at 30 years old. That's when he started making the big money. And in fact, Pretty Boy Floyd was not the face of boxing. There was a lot of people that was way bigger than Pretty Boy Floyd. But then when he became Money May, he was the face of boxing. There's no argument that could be made against that. At 30 years old. Why am I pointing this out to y'all? Shakur Stevenson is 28. Shakur Stevenson is 28. Just turned 28 years old right now. At 28 years old, he's already a 3-division champion, a unified champion. And if he fights Teofimo, should he win, which I expect him to, he'll be a 4-division champion by 28 years old. So what I'm trying to tell you is that Shakur Stevenson is right there, literally on that same path as Floyd. You could start doing the usual hater stuff of trying to point at opponents and discredit them, discrediting them. Oh, nah, this guy wasn't that good, and that guy, and look at this guy. But just like Floyd, they did that to Floyd too, by the way. But just like Floyd, Shakur's undefeated, a multi-division champion at 28 years old. And checking out the boxes on the haters. Oh, nah, he run too much, he run too much. Beat the shit out of Zepeda. Shoot, check that box. Ever since that day, I haven't even heard nobody saying that he run too much. He ain't fight nobody, he ain't fight nobody. Gonna fight Teo. Bite his ass. Shoot, check that box. So everything that the haters are saying, Shakur's just checking out the hater boxes away. Choo, choo, choo. The Mexican G. Mayweather fought on Oscar's undercard for a while. That's what I'm saying. Floyd Mayweather, had to slowly grow his name up until that point. And he was 30 years old when he became the face of boxing. Shakur is only 28, 2 years younger than when Floyd fought Oscar. Like, I'll put it to you like this. If Tank Davis was to fight Shakur Stevenson next, that day Shakur Stevenson becomes the face of boxing. That's why they don't want to fight him. They're like, yo, we're going to give this nigga the whole sport if we fight him. We can't do that. They know. Just the same way that Floyd Mayweather beat Oscar De La Hoya and he became the face of boxing like instantly, that's what would happen if Shakur Stevenson fight Tank Davis. That day, they're going to go like, bam, put that crown on him. This your shit, son. Do you. That's how it plays out. Clinton Eddie. There has been so many next Floyd boxers that is more of a curse than a prop. Nah, Shakur Stevenson is not going to be the next Floyd. He's going to be the first Shakur. Let me fix that for you. He ain't going to be the next Floyd. Gabriel Antonini. Ciao. Porchadio. I can't read that. I'm sorry. But I appreciate you dropping in. Salute. The Mexican G. There will never be another Floyd. He's a standalone lifetime type of fighter. You're right. The same way there will never be another Shakur. He's a standalone type of fighter. That's why this whole generation, nobody, fights like him. Nobody could avoid getting hit like him. He's the guy who gets hit the least in the whole world of professional boxing. There's nobody like him. So, you got it. They're both special fighters that we don't see nothing like that. Clinton Eddie. Yes, Mexican G, so true. Mexican G. It never made sense to me how beating Oscar made Floyd the face of boxing. Oscar has already lost so many times before losing to Mayweather. Very simple. Even though he lost so many times, that's only casuals who look at the losses. People look at the skill of the fighter. That fight went to split decision, number one. So all those losses don't matter. Floyd Mayweather fought. While casual fans look at the losses, people who understand the sport of boxing know that Floyd Mayweather beat one of the most accomplished fighters in boxing that night. That's why he became the face of boxing. But the haters, oh, no, but he got a lot of losses. Ain't nobody talking about that. Nobody. He beat a great fighter. That's what happened. The ill will, box center J. Smith, salute. Bam. Clifton Eddie. So in your opinion, who has more talent, Shakur or Bud? Skill for skill, talent for talent. It's hard for me. I think they're even. They're right there. Right there, even. Raw dog. Floyd never honored the rematch clause. I mean, he didn't want to. He know what happened. He know how tough of a fight that was. And I'm going to tell you something, so that you can see how special of a fighter Oscar De La Hoya was. Y'all think about when they fought each other, how that fight played out. It was a split decision, right? So Floyd edged out a split decision win on Oscar De La Hoya. Bro, I'm going to remind y'all that this was the version of Oscar De La Hoya that was already wearing fishnets, getting coked up, getting drunk, partying. Like, the coked up, cross-dressing, fishnet-wearing version of Oscar De La Hoya fought Floyd Mayweather to a split decision. Now, call me crazy, but I say, damn. If the focused, disciplined version of Oscar De La Hoya would have been there that night, he would have put the beats on Floyd. That might be a crazy concept, but shit. The Mexican G, they were supposed to have a rematch, but Oscar lost to Manny. No. Let me fix that for you. They were supposed to have a rematch, but Floyd retired for a year and a day. The rematch clause expired, and then Floyd Mayweather came back out of retirement. So there was nothing Oscar De La Hoya could do. But he was tied to a rematch. He just allowed it to expire. Like Tank Davis allowing that shit to expire on Lamont Roach. Raw Dog, yeah. The real Oscar was the one. Mostly fought. Yeah, you see, mostly. But only the first time. The second time, that's it. Oscar was already. To be honest, even the first time he was already. He had started to take that slide already, but he was still at least controlling the public image. But he was kind of already, going Tony Montana on us. The Mexican G, a washed up Oscar, put up a good fight against a prime Floyd. I wouldn't say he was washed up. He wasn't washed up. It's just that he was living a certain lifestyle. But you're talking about a great fighter. See, that's the thing, the Mexican G. When you don't understand the sport of boxing, you categorize Oscar as a washed up fighter. We're talking about only an Olympic gold medalist, only a 5-division champion. It's only like five division champions in the history of boxing, but what the hell, he's just a washed up fighter, right? Like a guy in his mid-30s that can get strong as hell in training camp. It's just a washed up fighter. That's what happens when you don't know shit about boxing, bro. You label guys from the point of view of somebody that don't know shit about it. Braskarov, Oscar can fight, bro. What? Yeah. Oscar went down as an all-time great. An all-time great. And by the way, Oscar De La Hoya was younger at that time than Terrence Crawford is right now. But people saying Canelo's the one that's washed. So people decide who's washed and who isn't based on the fighters who they hate. If you hate the fighter, everybody they fight is washed. If they 30 years old, y'all be like, yeah, he washed. Raw Dog, the Oscar Manny fought was just a show. Oh, yeah, that's it. He was done. That's it. That's it. That Oscar was there for a paycheck. He was done. He had no chance. Imagine, look, he quit. Quit in that fight. When throughout Oscar De La Hoya's career you ever saw him quit? In that fight, he quit. Oscar De La Hoya versus Manny Pacquiao was like total destruction, total domination from Pac-Man's side. But these are great fighters. These are great. Oscar De La Hoya, John Parham, Oscar De La Hoya was a bad man. You see? Gabriel Pujol, first boxer, not heavyweight, to make 30 million. Fact. First guy to make that 30 mils. Oscar De La Hoya was the big fish. So that's the reason why when Floyd Mayweather beat him, he became the face of boxing. He was 30 years old. That's why I keep reminding people. Shakur Stevenson is 28 right now. He's one big win away from people saying, yeah, this guy's the face of boxing. It's his. That's it. If Tank Davis was to fight Shakur, he'd be becoming the face of boxing. Like that day after whooping that ass. You gotta believe me, my people. Child support Dodger. Hold on, child support Dodger. Take a quick time out for a little 24 hours. The veggie salad's in the building. Take that little time out, veggie salad. You seen it, John Parham, the veggie salad. Pays us a visit on Friday morning. Raw Dog, create another fake account, veggie salad. Raw Dog, as a teen, I watched every fight Oscar had in the Olympics on TV. I was a fan from then on. So I actually watched Oscar not before the Olympics. I watched when he was already in the Olympics. That's when I found out about him. This guy from the American team. You know, there was a few other fighters. I wasn't just had my eyes on Oscar. But then I ended up remembering him because he's the only one that won a gold medal that year. I was like, oh shit. And right away they, you know, I don't know if it was right away, I can't remember. But at some point they started calling him the Golden Boy. Some people don't know that. That's why that's the name of his company, Golden Boy. Because he was called the Golden Boy. And that happened. He was the only Olympic gold medalist in the Barcelona Games. That's why. T. Simmons. Canelo can definitely beat Crawford. Crawford last fight, he didn't look good. And right hits him a lot. Well, T. Simmons, look at your logic. Crawford's last fight, he didn't look good, right? But he won. But Canelo didn't look good against Bivol when he got his ass whooped. And you're not saying that? That's meaningless. How a fighter looked in another fight, that has nothing to do with this fight. Because you're talking about Crawford didn't look good in a fight he won. I'm telling you, Canelo didn't look good in a fight he got whooped. But I understand that that doesn't matter. That's another fight. Canelo's not going to fight Crawford the same way he fought Bivol. He's going to make adjustments. Crawford is not going to fight Canelo the same way he fought Madrimov. He's going to make adjustments. So the whole idea, the whole notion of, well, nah, Crawford, you know, nah, bro, forget about that. T. Simmons, Oscar lost to Pernell Whitaker for short. Nah, I didn't think so. John Parham, JJ, you be early as fuck. JJ, get him the fuck out of here. Yo, the veggie salad, man, he need his attention early. If you sitting at home crippled, can't move, shitting on yourself, what else you gonna do? T. Simpson, so you think Canelo can beat Crawford? I got Crawford winning the fight, but Canelo's a great fighter. If Canelo was to win, I would give him his credit for winning. It's boxing. In boxing, anything can happen. We saw Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson. Do I think he's going to win? No. I got Crawford winning that fight. Whooping his ass, actually. JJ Sendejas. Where are you from? John, fuck it early over here. Well, right here. In my case, my people, 6:50 in the morning. By the way, enjoy your breakfast. To those of you who are eating breakfast, if you're on your way to work or whatever it is that you're doing up this early in the morning, do your thing, my peoples. Do what you gotta do. And by the way, roll call, my peoples. Roll call. Where you at right now? City and country. Your boy Jay Smith is in... Oh, shit, no, hold on. I don't got my receipt. I don't even got my receipt. Where the hell's the Box Center family tuning in from? We need answers. We need answers, my people. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, because we need answers. We need to know where is the Box Center family tuning in from. My peoples, my peoples. This is that Friday morning roll call. Where is the Box Center family tuning in from? Where y'all at, my peoples? Where y'all at? Clifton Eddie, 8:51 p.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. Checking in. Braska Rock. Checking in from Omaha, Nebraska. John Parham. I want to visit Australia. Me too. Me too. I want to hang out with the kangaroos and whatnot. The Ill Will. Tune in from the Big Apple. Ooh, NYC is in the building in full effect, my peoples. JJ Zendejas, Woodland, California. By Sacramento, California. 3 more years, I will move to Twin Falls, Idaho. Whoa. So we got California and Idaho in the building all at once. The Mexican G. I'm glad the fight is already next month. The speculation is going to be over. That's a fact. John Parham, Louisville, Kentucky, the home of the great Muhammad Ali. Ooh, Louisville is in the building, my people. You see what I'm saying? We got Australia is in the building. They their own continent over there. Melbourne. The U.S. is in the building fully. Gabriel Pujroy, Tampa, Florida, in the building. Clifton Eddy. Everyone is welcome here in Oz. It's funny, my dream is to see USA. I guess we want we want what we don't have. Man, I'm telling you, I want to go to Australia. I want to see the kangaroos from up close. I want to hang out with I'm an animal guy. I love animals. So I'll go crazy over there with the kangaroos. Somebody mentioned that this fight is going to happen already, soon, finally. Crawford and Canelo. And look, I can't wait. I can't wait. This whole thing has been building up exactly like Errol versus Crawford. The same way. And the same narrative. That's what I find the most interesting. Every little detail to the T of what was said that Errol Spence was going to do to Terence Crawford is now being said that Canelo is going to do. Literally everything. If you remember when that fight was going to happen, the whole narrative, Errol's too big. He's too strong. Crawford is not going to be able to take his power. Errol's going to break him down to the body. And look at how that fight played out. And people still didn't learn. Now the same exact narrative. Canelo's little ass is too big. Canelo's little ass is too strong. Clifton Eddy, if you love animals, you will love Australia. I know, bro. Trust me, I know. That's the main reason why I want to go to Australia. I want to see how are people going to react. Which, by the way, I already told you guys. I've seen the excuses already. They already can't shut up about the snack. They can't shut up about how Canelo's not washed. Which, by the way, Canelo's going to be the favorite for this fight. How exactly is the favorite a guy who's washed, who's younger than Terence Crawford by a couple of years? I don't even know. But I told ya, when you want to hate on somebody, you're going to come up with the goofiest explanations ever. Because it's a different level of goofiness. It's like the goofiest of the oofiest for you to make claims of shit that you just made up out the top of your head, that you just kind of like made up out of thin air. You just made it up. How can somebody go on social media, make something up, and run with it like it's a fact? Yo, listen, there's a lot of goofiness going on. A lot of goofiness. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm not going to put nobody on the spot. But I'm going to tell you the goofiness that is going on. And why some of you be believing some goofiness. Clifton Eddy, I think Bud might simply be too fast for Canelo. He's been up to fight before. So many have slowed slightly, and Bud has ridiculous hand speed. I think Crawford has, multiple physical attributes that are going to be a factor in this fight. Speed is going to be one of them. But the height and reach advantages that people are ignoring, they're going to find out. But I got to tell you, Terence Crawford is a fighter that people are underestimating. Really, really underestimating. To a level of disrespect. My people. But I want to tell you about the goofiness that is going on. Y'all want to tell me how I seen so-called boxing YouTubers or boxing social media guys. Explain to me how I see these people talking about Crawford is on snack. Let me tell you something. I could have my opinion about whatever it is, but I'm always let you guys know that is my opinion. Whether I have 2 people tuning in or 100 people tuning in, but I'm very responsible with what I tell you guys. I don't make stuff up out of thin air. I could joke around with you. I could trash talk with y'all. But I don't lie to you. And I don't spin no narrative for somebody that I like or for somebody that I don't like. You're always gonna see Jay Smith going with the facts. And I see some of these people that are, like I say, in the sport of boxing, as far as creating content, and they spreading all these false narratives without a shred of evidence. That's mad irresponsible, my peoples. That's mad irresponsible. Then you have the fans talking mad bullshit because you're helping them, you're feeding that narrative. It's like just because you're a hater doesn't mean that you gotta spread fake narratives. And I see that a lot. I'm like, damn, why this person does that? Why they do that? I don't understand it. And that's gonna be one of the big differences you're gonna see between me and some of these people that I don't know what the fuck they be talking about. They just, I don't know if it's for clickbait. I don't know if it's to get attention. I don't know what it's for. But every time you come through here, you know that I'm telling you the truth. You know that I'm telling you the facts. I don't make stuff up. So when you go to these different pages where they like, yo, Crawford is on snack, just know that they making that shit up out of thin air because they don't like Crawford. Me personally, I don't make nothing up. I don't do that. Just to hate on the fighter. Looking for a crazy, weird-ass angle. Look like a bunch of weirdos. The ill will. Victor Conte has a bad rep in the game. But the ill will, here's the problem with that point of view. Victor Conte went to federal prison. Spent time in jail. To think that this guy came out of jail and under the federal microscope went right back to distributing steroids and never been caught, that is beyond wicked. That's not about Victor Conte. That's about hate for the athletes. You would never even bring up Victor Conte if it wasn't because he's with Crawford is with Snack. You hate Crawford, so you got to bring him up. You wouldn't even bring him up. But to think that a guy came from doing federal time and went back to doing the same thing and is now getting away with it under the federal microscope, that shit is diabolical, bro. Diabolical. There is absolutely, and then the thing is, right now, there is absolutely nothing to suggest that Victor Conte is doing anything wrong or that Snack is involved with anything wrong. So you can say, well, you know what? To me, Victor Conte's suspicious. Cool. If you don't think that somebody could change and do better, cool. That's on you. Damn. A bad world you living in, my G. I think people could change. But it's not about what you think or what I think. It's about the facts. This guy is an ex-convict. And you're saying that the next convict got out of prison, federal prison, and went back to doing exactly what he was doing before. That shit don't make no sense, bro. The only reason it makes sense is because you hate Terrence Crawford, so you want to believe that something is wrong. But no, that shit don't make no sense at all. Raw dog, Sean Porter described Conti as a mad scientist. Yeah, but I mean, he's describing Victor Conti based on his opinion. It's that simple. But he would have been in jail. Jail. But you think about this. You prefer to feed your conspiracy. Oh, shit. Whew. That was close. You prefer to feed a conspiracy. Nah, yo, because, he might be doing it because he did it before. You prefer that than to look at the facts. Like, yo, this guy got a company, they on and popping, and he doing it the right way. I had a little situation over here. I had to perform a little evasive action, but I was successful. I don't know if you saw the head movement and the footwork, but it's all good. All good. That footwork is on point. Pop, pop, pop. Wasn't gonna get me slipping. My people, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Bud Crawford, is gonna be two clean fighters fighting each other. Ain't nobody gonna be cheating. Ain't nobody gonna be on drugs. They both gonna be getting VADA tested multiple times. They're gonna be getting VADA tested multiple times before and after the fight. Which, by the way, I find it interesting that people try to knock VADA because of Victor Conti, and they don't realize that VADA is the ones that be catching people left and right. Munguia, it was VADA that popped them. All these people, Oscar Valdez, VADA popped them. Oh, wait a minute. Canelo Alvarez, it was VADA that popped them too. They the ones that's catching people left and right. Y'all think about that. The ill will. That's going to be fight of the century. I don't know who taking it. It's a big, big fight. Here's the interesting part. A year ago, I posted about that fight. And you know how many people told me, oh, that fight don't make no sense. You don't know shit about boxing. That fight will never happen, Jay. What are you talking about? And look where we are right now. The biggest fight in boxing. There was even people telling me, I would never watch that fight. That don't make no sense to me. The people that told me that they would never watch that fight, I can't even find them anymore. They gonna watch that fight. Everybody. This is the biggest fight in boxing. I was calling for this fight, and people was mocking me. Oh, I don't know shit about boxing because this weight class is for a reason. This fight could never happen. My peoples, let me put y'all on. First of all, stop ducking that like button the same way Tank Davis ducking Shakur. And second of all, when it comes to this whole situation, I've been trying to put you on. I've been trying to tell you how it's going to play out. JJ's in their house. What the fuck was that? Did you see it or you didn't see it? I'll tell you what it was, but first tell me if you saw it. First tell me if you saw it. If you actually saw it on screen. And then I'll tell you what it was. JJ's in the house. Hit the like button, everyone. Let's go. Of course, man. People being cheap as hell with the like button. Golly. Ducking. My peoples, when I had to pull that evasive action, did you actually see a bird? Nah, go get the money. It wasn't a bird. Nah. So you didn't see it. Yo, that shit was a big-ass hornet. The black ones, that shit was like this big, bro. I just heard that shit go zzz. That thing was trying to murk me. That thing would have laid me out. But y'all saw the head movement, the footwork. It couldn't mess with me. Couldn't see me. Go get the money. Nah, I was being funny. Oh, all right. Clinton Eddie. What the height and reach with Bud and Canelo? I mean, I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I could tell you that Crawford has a huge reach advantage on Canelo. Not a lot of height, maybe like an inch. But the reach advantage, Crawford got the real long arms, and Canelo is the guy with the little short arms. That's part of the reason why he's going to take a beating. Boxing on paper, yo, Jay, how competitive do you think Itama versus White is going to be? I mean, look, White is no bum. You know, I think it is going to be competitive until Itama hurts him, simply because White can fight, and he has a lot of experience. He's been in there, you know, with some big names, and Itama's just 20 years old. So I think the difference in experience is going to be enough for White to make it competitive. But Itama, he's going in there with destruction on his mind. Tell you that shit right now. Raw dog, bro, I got stung in my eyelid by a hornet before. Yo, man, I was not trying to get stung, B. That joint was huge. And he's staying around here somewhere because this is the second day. Yesterday, he tried to get me, too. He just came floating and tried to get me. But, you ain't gonna do me like that. Not on live, you ain't gonna do me like that. Maybe after I cut the camera off, you might catch me slipping. JJ said that with platform shoes or not. Armando Rosado, champ 2 years ago. Crawford said himself, Canelo was too big. Okay, so 2 years ago, Crawford was fighting at a much lower division. He's not fighting there now. What is your point? I know it's on YouTube. I saw it. What is your point? That was 2 years ago. He's bigger now. You know people change size their body, right? He's bigger now. He's walking around weighing in the 180s. So since he's walking around in the 180s and Canelo was fighting in the 160s, it's safe to say that he's not too much bigger anymore. Clifton Eddie, big factor, reach advantage and speed advantage and footwork advantage makes it look harder and harder for King Canelo. Been trying to tell people. I've been trying to tell people. They keep clinging on to power. Even though they watch Canelo get his ass whooped by two people who didn't have power, they keep clinging on too much power, too much power. Okay. You're going to see what that too much height, too much reach, and too much footwork is going to do to his ass. How about that? How about that? Hold on. Hold on, my people. JJ said in the house, it's the veggie salad. Little drone flying around you. Yo, man, I don't know if the veggie salad got a drone that looks identical to a hornet, but golly. Clifton Eddie, I'm with Buzz. Stoppage. Boxing on paper. Who do you got with David Adeyel, Philip Hergovich? I got Nah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not ready to make a prediction just yet. Aris, how are you, brother? Salute. Armando Rosado. My point, you can't blame us for not believing the fight wasn't going to happen. No, listen. I don't blame you for not believing the fight was going to happen. What I blame you for is for saying that fight was boring, or that fight didn't make no sense, or that you didn't want to watch it. I don't want to see. I'm not interested in that fight. That's what I blame you for, because it's the biggest fight in boxing, and of course you're going to tune in. But the hate for Crawford all this time before they sign, oh, that don't make no sense. Canelo should fight somebody else. That's always the hate tactic. You don't want the guys that you hate, you don't want them to get the opportunity to get those fights. That's why when I did the poll and I asked people, yo, who should Teofimo Lopez fight next? Shakur Stevenson? Everybody was like, nah, he should fight Subriel Matias. Go unify titles. Go. That's a better fight. Why? Because they don't want Shakur Stevenson to get those big fights. They don't want him to accomplish. They love that narrative. He ain't beat nobody. He ain't beat nobody. He beat Teofimo Lopez. You're going to have to shut the fuck up. So you don't want him to get that win. Damn. And it's that constant narrative of not wanting fighters to fight the best out there, so they don't have that shot to prove it to everybody. John Parent, Shakur and Teo will sell. I agree with you 100%. That's a big, big fight. That fight is going to sell out. Whatever venue they stage it in is going to sell out. The pay-per-view numbers is going to be good as well. Monster numbers. That's a fight people are going to want to see. I hope they can make it happen. I really do, my people. Superman is because of that pummeling session on EJ. That's the reason. I think we all know. Ever since Crawford battered Errol Spence, the hate for him just escalated to a new level. Matter of fact, look, dare I say right now, Terrence Crawford is the most hated fighter in boxing. There, I said it. That's it, I said it. It had to be said, and I have let it be known. He's the most hated fighter in boxing. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me one fighter that is hated more than Terrence Crawford. Tell me one guy. One guy that's hated more than Terrence Crawford. Armando Rosado, fans today are not to matchups. They're into drama. That's it. They're into drama. Definitely. Boxing on paper. Surely, Devin Haney is more hated. Not even close. Not even close. I'm going to prove to you that Devin Haney is not more hated. Devin Haney ducked Shakur Stevenson, and nobody called it a duck. Everybody defended him. Everybody defended the fake 25% offer. So he's not more hated. You see? In those negotiations, people sided with Devin. So he's not more hated. You're wrong. Not even close. Not even close. Superman. Just like he said, he's been preparing for Canelo for years. The Ill Will, Jake Paul. Superman, Dev. John Parham, Tank Davis. John Parham, bro said Jake. JJ's in the house. Can't wait for football to start. Boxing, football, and baseball. God damn, all of the sports combined. Dev get a lot of hate. Look, Dev does get a lot of hate. But John Parham, let's be honest. When it was Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, and they could have fought, and Devin Haney ran from the division, literally ducked, the fans took Devin Haney's side. The fans try to say, nah, wait a minute, because he sent an offer. It's Shakur who should have took the offer. So Devin Haney's not that hated because people sided with him. You see? When are you seeing people siding with Crawford? They went against Crawford when he fought Arrow. They went against Crawford because, he didn't beat Madrimov the way he should have. And now they're going against Crawford with Canelo. They always go against Crawford with everything he does. He's the most hated fighter in boxing, my people. Without a doubt. Yes, look, all the guys who are at the top, champions, who got these great records, they're all going to have haters. They all have them. But Terrence Crawford has the most haters, bro. Bar none. He's the most. Think about this. One of the biggest fan bases in boxing is the Mexican fan base. It's the Mexican fan base. And although there are some Mexicans who don't rock with Canelo, the overwhelming majority do. They against Terrence Crawford. And then you take the Tankomaniacs and the PBC fan base and the Al Haymanites, they against Terrence Crawford too. Bro, no, who else got a whole fan base against them? Who got a whole fan base? A whole fan base is against you. in every fight you fight. Bro, the Al Haymanites and Tankamaniacs used to hate Canelo. They became Canelo fans the moment Canelo was gonna fight Bud. You imagine that level of hate? I told ya, the hate for Crawford is different. It's a whole different hate. And I'm showing it to you, my people. I want you to please see it. I am showing it to you. I am showing it to you, my peoples. The level of hate for Terence Crawford is a whole different level. You consider it. How is it possible that 2 years ago you hated Canelo, you always talking bad about Canelo, you bashing him, and the moment he signed to fight Terence Crawford, you become a Canelo fan? Yeah, Canelo's gonna get him because Canelo's such a great fighter, and Canelo this and Canelo that. God damn. All he had to do was sign to fight Crawford, and you was gonna become a Canelo fan that quick. That shows you the level of hate for Terence Crawford. Tank Davis fans, PBC fans, right now they Canelo fans. How much time did they spend bashing Canelo? Now they Canelo fans because he's fighting Terence Crawford. So yes, I said it. Right now, Terence Crawford is the most hated fighter in boxing. You got the Mexican fan base against you. You got the Tankamaniacs, the Al Haymanites, and all of these other fans against you, hating, looking for negative angles to say why you're not that great. He's the most hated fighter. Who do you see, my people? Where do you see a whole fan base that don't like a fighter like Terence Crawford? He's that guy. He's the most hated fighter in boxing. Armando Rosado. Crawford is hated by casuals, but I can't remember when Canelo has been the underdog. I mean, but being the underdog, I mean, I don't know how is that even relevant. I'm not sure how is hate an underdog even relevant. You can't remember him being the underdog can also be attributed to him being a great fighter. If you're a great fighter, it's gonna be hard for you to be the underdog. That's like when did you see Shakur be the underdog? When do you see Devin be the underdog? When do you see Tank Davis be the underdog? So if you're a great fighter, it's gonna be hard for you to be that. Go get the money. Yeah, they hate Devin for wanting to fight a clean fighter. For wanting to fight a clean fighter? I don't know what that meant. Standing 8 count. Beyond the Crawford hate, why is there always indirect towards Al Haymon, who's been a ghost for years? He's not even a public figure. I don't know. I don't think that there is any hate for Al. I think there is more hate towards the way that they brainwash the fan base to think. Like Al Haymon convinced fans that titles are not important anymore, that their big names don't have to fight the champions, that they can be big stars, that they can. So I think that's what the hate stems from. That this whole side of the street narrative was created by Al Haymon and PBC. He's the guy that's leading the company that started that bullshit. Moscovich, Canelo versus Crawford is a great fight. I'm going to enjoy it on Netflix. Listen, the fact that that fight is going to be on Netflix is gonna break so many records when it comes to viewership. Think about it. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson did over 100 million views on Netflix. That's a strategy that they're using. And you know what they're using that strategy for? To reach the audience. Because Netflix numbers are going to absolutely destroy regular pay-per-view numbers. They're going to destroy it. Why? Netflix is a worldwide application. All over the world, people got Netflix. I'm telling you, the numbers are going to be insane. Go get the money. They don't hate the good one. They hate the great ones. That's a fact. The greatest fighters, those are the ones that they hate on. Moscovich, you damn right, worldwide. Yo, on Netflix, this is going to be insane. And I'm going to say, before, there was problems with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, right? And those problems, the veggie salad is trying to get in. I'm sorry, veggie salad, but you're out of here. We don't need you, veggie salad. Listen, we have problems with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. You may remember that the streaming, for some people, it froze and all that stuff, so they couldn't watch some of the action live. I promise you, Netflix is already preparing. They know those numbers are gonna be crazy. JJ Zendejas, that was another fake account from the veggie salad that got rejected. So think about it. If Netflix had that experience, they already know. Okay, with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, we had shit freezing, all that. Now we're gonna be ready. They probably look how long from now the fight is. We're still over a month away. They still trying it. The veggie salad is still trying it, my peoples. The vegetable salad is trying hard. No vegetable salad. Start talking boxing and act like you're a boxing fan, even though you're not. High and low. Sports Neutrum. Sports Zentrum. Teofimo Lopez, the champion slayer. I mean, look, I can't knock you for saying that. Teofimo Lopez been taking out champions. But Shakur Stevenson done took out some champions too. Don't forget that. And Teofimo Lopez got an L on his record. There's a way to beat him. We saw it. Shakur Stevenson, it's like Da Vinci Code, man. It ain't been cracked. Wait a minute. Was Da Vinci Code cracked? I'm not even sure. John Parham, Stavi be starving. You imagine how angry you gotta be? You're crippled at home, sending angry messages and they not getting through. You gotta be mad as hell. Armando Rosado, Camacho was hated. B-Hop was hated. Margarito was hated. But I would say they were hated for different reasons. You see, Camacho was a great fighter who was very flamboyant. He was very stylistically. I'm going to put it to you like this, yo. Camacho is the reason why fighters wear the big shorts with all the things hanging on them and the little skirt kind of thing. And all that stuff was invented by Hector Camacho. He's the reason why people wear that. So when he started doing it, people was like, yo, this guy's crazy. All them costumes he used to be, what is he doing? What is he doing? Because he was way ahead of his time. Now you see a bunch of fighters wearing shorts identical to what he was doing. So Camacho, a trendsetter. What he did in boxing, it's not just that it can't be replicated. He's the guy that... It's kind of like Allen Iverson with the cornrows and the tattoos. Remember in the NBA? There was an NBA before and after Allen Iverson. Go get the money. Stavi bored. He got to tune in, man. Stavi got to tune in. Shut his crippled ass up and just watch us. Go get the money. Stavi set him alarm clock just to tune in and be weird. No, his alarm clock set to like 4 in the morning. He tune in every day and try to say something, try to get attention. Raw Dog. El mero mero paez. Whoa, crazy too. Hey, el mero mero. No, el mero mero. El maromero. He used to do maromas and shit. El maromero paez. That guy was a problem. JJ said, the fuck out of here, you crippled pedophile. Armando Rosado, I think Crawford is hated by Arrow fans. Yeah, but no. Look. He's hated by Arrow fans, but it's not just Arrow fans, because Tank Davis fans talk the same way. PBC fans, because you have to understand, the PBC, they built their own fan base. And all of that entire fan base hate Crawford. The same thing, look at Canelo Alvarez fans. Canelo Alvarez, look, the moment you start saying that Crawford ain't beat nobody, that he's not that good, that he's a hype job, you're a hater, right? Look around on social media how common it is for people to say that. Superman, PBC fans are hypocritical, of course. Their whole point of view goes out the window when it comes to Tank Davis. I never understood that. Look at the difference between being a fan of the sport and being a fan of a fighter. I'm a fan of Shakur Stevenson, right? I want Shakur Stevenson to fight the best. I want Shakur Stevenson to fight Tank. Y'all see right now, I'm excited about the possibility that he might fight Teofimo Lopez. I'm a fan of Terrence Crawford. I wanted him to fight Canelo Alvarez before that fight was even spoken about. People laughed at me for wanting that fight. So again, my favorite fighters, I want them to fight the best. But for whatever reason, Tank Davis fans, they don't want him to fight the best. Make that shit make sense. They want him to knock people out and put butts in seats and sell pay-per-views and be a star. They don't ask him. They don't say that he got to fight Shakur. They don't say that he got to go fight Teofimo or go fight. Nah. Tank Davis fans is too busy talking about who everybody else needs to fight. That shit crazy. Tank Davis fans don't even talk about Tank. They too busy talking about Crawford and Shakur. Okay, man, we just want to see the best fight the best. I'm telling you, a lot of people want to see the best fight the best. But Tank Davis fans don't want to see him fight the best. I say that's part of the reason why he's able to get away with cherry-picking guys from the 130 division. Which, by the way, it's looking like Tank Davis versus Lamar Roach might not happen. Raw Dog, the Tank era is the craziest in boxing. Raw Dog, let me ask you a question. If Tank Davis don't fight Lamar Roach, are you going to say he a duck? I'm interested. I'm interested in your point of view when it comes to that. If Tank Davis don't fight Lamar Roach, who he went to a draw with, who he has a rematch in place, who a date was even announced, is Tank Davis going to fight Lamar Roach? But if he doesn't, is he ducking? Is he ducking? Y'all tell me. RJ, Tank owns boxing. Where he owns boxing? All right. Take a 30-minute break. When you get back, you can explain to me how he owns boxing. But you need a 30-minute break because you came in too hard with that. Está bien. Superman, he should be fighting people at 135. They will also try to argue Core shouldn't be fighting Tio. Go get the money. Bud is hated by Arrow fans, YouTube creator fans, because Arrow fans respect Bud. I don't know, my guy. I don't know. I have a hard time. Maybe there could be some Arrow fans that got that respect for Crawford, but nah, man. The overwhelming majority of Arrow fans that I've had that conversation with make the argument that he wasn't the same and that he wasn't good and try to discredit and diminish that W for Terrence Crawford. So I don't see the respect. It's actually disrespectful to say stuff to try to diminish the win. Oh, no, he wasn't the same. Look. Let me show you how delusional fans can actually be. And you're going to see this is absolutely delusional, like there's no getting around it. When it comes to Canelo Alvarez, how are you going to tell me, well, when he lost to Floyd, he was too young. And when he lost to Bivol, that weight class was too high. And now when he loses to Crawford, well, in that situation, he's already washed up. People really already have an excuse for every single loss in Canelo's career. You might as well tell me the motherfucker's undefeated. Fuck it. You got an excuse for every time he lost. Fuck it, just tell me he's undefeated. Might as well. RJ, like I said, Tank and Canelo own boxing. That's what I want to understand, my people. How can you have a little situation like that? Take a little break, family. Take a little break. Relax. You're gonna be alright, man. Relax, veggie salad. You're gonna be alright, man. You're gonna be crippled for the rest of your life, but you'll be alright. Hold on, my peoples. Hold on, my people. Ryan. Hold on, my peoples. Let me go grab my keys. I'm gonna come right back, okay? Good morning. Wait for me right here. I'm gonna go get my keys. My peoples. Those of you tuning in, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Early, my people. This is Monday through Fridays. Today, we've been talking about Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. We digressed, go into a lot of different directions. But this potential matchup is a fight that we want to see. The fans have chimed in. And unanimously, we have said we want to see this fight. And we made some predictions. Some people got Shakur winning. Some people got Teofimo Lopez walking out of there with a W. Superman, you see Jay Smith boxing short doing kung fu? Oh, you see? I mean, I ain't gonna cap. My kung fu skills is not up to par. I'm not gonna cap and say that I'm a kung fu master or anything like that. But y'all saw the praying mantis in full effect. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, was the praying mantis from your boy Jay Smith. Bam Bam Boogie. Ooh, Bam Bam Boogie's in the building. Salute, my G. Appreciate you dropping in. Y'all saw the praying mantis, bro. Now, every once in a while, y'all gonna see me do an intro. Y'all gonna see the kung fu moves. I'm practicing next. I'm practicing the crane. So when I got the crane more down pat, y'all gonna see the next intro with the crane. And then on another intro, y'all gonna see the tiger, the monkey. Y'all gonna see all of them. Just give me time. John Pound, Wu-Tang, what's the class? My boy, get ready. Because in Boxing for Breakfast, you're going to see the full 36 chambers unleashing in front of y'all. Superman, Jay Smith, you missed my comments. So you reading what I said? I didn't make the full statement. Hold on, let me go back up, Superman. Shit, Superman. Okay. Here we go. Superman, they're corny. You missed my previous comments, so I didn't read well. It didn't show the full point of what I was saying about Tank fans. Damn, Superman, that shit went way, way up. Just tell me again what the comment was that I missed, my G. Raw Dog, show us a drunken master off that rum punch. Okay, you're going to get drunken master too. You're going to get, look, I'm going to give y'all the drunken master. I'm thinking about next giving y'all the crane, to be honest. Because the crane, I already, you know what I'm saying, got some moves that I'm bringing out. But you're gonna see the crane. You're gonna see the tiger. I'm even bringing the wasp. All of them. All of them. You'll see the whole 36 chambers. Sharon X. Isn't that the snake? No, I think the crane also. The crane also got some of those chopping movements. Y'all gonna see the tiger too. Ooh, wait till you see the. You're gonna see all of it, my peoples. But I'm gonna give y'all the very interesting metaphor to my kung fu. This is my interesting metaphor to kung fu. All of my kung fu experience comes from watching kung fu movies. That's it. That's where it comes from. Watching kung fu movies. So as you can tell, no matter how many movies I watched, I look like a fool doing kung fu. Ah, espérate. Hold on one second. Because I'm going to get the chocolate milk. You want to go with me to get the chocolate milk or you want to watch the cartoons? Hold on. I'm going to fit. You want to watch the cartoons? Go right here, look. Look at your chancletas right here. Put it on. Come on, let's take it off. Come on.
Quítame los pampers a mí.
Oh, the crane keep the fingertips together. Ooh. Trust me.
Yo estaba.
Y'all gonna see me. Y'all gonna see the entire 36 chambers. Ooh, Ryan, you're looking strong. Give me a second. Let me get you shorts. You're gonna see all of it, my peoples. I'm gonna be out there looking like Raekwon the chef. Ryan, what's your shorts at?
Están en. Yo creo que están.
¿Dónde están tus shorts? Esto, ¿no? Esto tú lo tenías ayer.
Está aquí.
¿O te quieres poner este?
Sí.
Este.
Sí.
A ver, te como.
Mía, es tu perrebe.
Wes does it. Crane keep fingertips closed. JJ Sendejas, you guys need to watch the Deadly Venom. Oh my God, yo, the Deadly Venom is that joint. You ain't gotta tell me.
A ver, no.
Deadly
Mi
Venom.
favorito es el blanco. Blanco es mi favorito.
Hold on, my people.
Veno blanco.
Wait.
Yo quiero a verlo blanco. Yo quiero a verlo blanco.
White Venom?
Que sí, y apaga un man. Dice que te llama el blanco lo que yo quiero.
Come on, put your feet in.
Este va ahí. Y
My
el otro
peoples.
ahí.
My peoples.
Oh,
We about to. We. El no blanco. Here you go. Good morning, Ryan. I love you. My peoples. Could life get better than this? Right here. Oh.
Mariana, te quiero.
I love you too, Ryan.
Tú eres mi papá.
You heard what he said? That's right. That's right. Don't worry, I'm not gonna ask you for a DNA test, son.
¿Qué?
I'm not gonna ask you for a DNA test.
¿Qué?
He like, you my pops. Cool, I'm your pops. I got you. Got you, son. I got you. My peoples.
¿Y por qué tú me tienes?
Cause you're my son, you're my baby. Let me say bye to the people, cause me and you gotta go get. We gotta go get some chocolate milk. My peoples.
Bye-bye.
So my peoples, I want to give
Bye-bye.
you want to let me say bye to the peoples? My peoples, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all already know what it is. This is Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. And Friday, my peoples, today's Friday. Enjoy your day. Have a good time. And remember, life is not about what you have and what you don't have. Life is about moments. When you get old, those are the moments that are going to make your life good.
Yo lo estoy cuidando.
A knuckles.
Sí.
Okay. We're about to go. Get your chocolate milk. So, my peoples, it's Friday. Enjoy yourself. It's not all about work. It's not all about just making money. It's not all about just grinding and buying things. It's about enjoying your life, my peoples. Enjoy yourself. Happy Friday. Salute to everybody who tuned in. The General, John Parent, was in the building. JJ Zendejas, K-Man 44, Superman. Yo, everybody else who tuned in, man. Bang Bang Boogie. And everybody else, I really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all already know what it is. I'm Jay Smith. This is Boxing for Breakfast. I hope you enjoyed this healthy dosage of sweet science. I'm out of here, my peoples. I'll see you tomorrow around 6:30, 7 in the morning, something like that. Y'all already know what it is. I'm Jay Smith.
Whoa.
You see, they calling me. I gotta go. Jay Smith in the building. But now I'm out of the building.